I'm a third year mechanical engineering student at Canada's top engineering university, and I secured my very first internship within only a 2-week time period in a very competitive job market. And my number one advice for all engineering students, especially those in the early stages, is to simply define the dream career. And the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to ask you two highly specific questions, okay? And the first one is, what is your desired industry? So get a piece of paper out. You're an engineering student. Of course, you got paper near you. So define your desired industry. So for example, if you want to work at John Deere, that's going to be the agricultural manufacturing industry. If you want to work at Tesla Motors, then that's going to be the automotive industry. If you want to work at NASA, then that's going to be the aerospace industry. So an industry is basically what kind of work the company you want to work for actually does. Okay, and the second question that you're going to ask is, what's your desired position? Now for this question, I want you to be very specific. Don't just say mechanical engineer or manufacturing engineer or electrical engineer, but you should say electronics engineer. You should say hardware engineer, mechanical design engineer. Now with every step that you take in university, it must be in 100% alignment with this if you actually want to reach it, okay? This could be how you act in your group course projects. This could be what kind of design club you join, what kind of classes you take seriously. Literally tape it to your freaking chest if you have to, just to make sure that it is 100% in your mind. Because for an analogy, let's think of a boxer who's training to be the world champion, right? Do you think he's spending his precious free time training to be that world champion, playing basketball and playing football and playing soccer and trying to train for mass? Or do you think he's doing specific things like training his jab, making sure that it's super sharp and super explosive? Do you think he's doing his head work? Do you think he's jump roping? He's doing specific things that are aligned with that goal of being the world champion. So in the same way, you got to be very specific with your action to reach your dream goal, your dream career. Because if you don't, and then you focus on getting all the broad experience, like you have a bit of microcontroller experience, you have a bit of knowledge in hardware, you have a bit of knowledge in SolidWorks, you have a bit of knowledge in simulation, then you're a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Now at this point, you're probably asking, what kind of things am I going to do through university that is going to align with this goal? So let me introduce you to something called the X pyramid. It's a pyramid of experience. And there are 3 sections to this pyramid. And at the top of it, it is the career that we defined earlier on this piece of paper. Now moving down, we got internships. And this also must be in alignment with that dream career. Because your dream career, they're going to want someone with experience that is relevant to the industry and someone who has skills which is relevant to the position. And if you didn't have an internship, which is in alignment with your dream career, then it's going to be highly unlikely that you actually get that dream career. And I'm not going to go that much into detail on how to get internships in this exact video, but I do have a link in the description which leads to my program on the exact steps that I took to get my very first internship in that 2-week time period, despite the fact that I was probably less experienced than you because I had no design club experience, I had no industrial experience, I had no network to turn to, I didn't have a co-op program, and I didn't even have LinkedIn, like all of these LinkedIn warriors that you look up to. Now I will share you a bit of information of how to get those internships, which is what leads to the third layer, which is projects. And there are 3 forms of projects that we could look to. There's personal projects, there's design club projects, and there are group projects. Now personal projects, that is actually the most high leverage that you can use to get an engineering internship. Because when you do personal projects, you tell yourself what to do, and that shows initiative. Look at any job posting out there. It shows that they're looking for someone who has initiative. And it also shows that you have passion for engineering because you're doing more engineering work outside of engineering, independent of other engineers, right? That shows 100% passion. And these recruiters that you send your applications to, they see that. Now, the personal projects that you actually make must be in alignment with your industry, okay? So your industry, let's say that you're wanting to work for Tesla Motors or Ford Motors for power transmission. You're going to want to make stuff like gearboxes. You're going to want to make stuff like engine models. You're going to want to make stuff like rotary engines, stuff that are actually specifically in alignment to that industry that you've written down. And then the actual skills that you use to make these projects must be in alignment with the position. Like say your desired position requires you to know how to use SolidWorks. You're going to use SolidWorks to actually make that gearbox. Or say that the position that you want to requires you to use simulation, then you're going to want to make some projects which uses simulation, right? It's common fucking sense. So in short, make sure that you have personal projects which uses skills in alignment to the position, and make sure that the project itself is in relation to the industry. And then there's design club projects. Now, design club projects, they're very structured and they do require a lot of hard skills. So this is where you can once again show that you have the right skills necessary for your dream position because you joined a design club that required you to train those skills. And then the design club that you want to join must be in alignment with the industry. Say, once again, for an example, if you want to join the automotive industry once you graduate, then you're gonna join a design club, like maybe a solar car club. My school right now, they have a solar car club. They have a motorsports club. That would be the sorts of design clubs that someone would want to join if they wanted to be in the automotive industry once they graduated. Now, the last form of project is course group projects. Now, these projects are literally at your fingertips because I'm assuming that most of your classes in university have group projects. Because for me, myself, almost like half of the classes that I had a group project in them. However, the downside is that a lot of the courses that you have are not really aligned with the dream career that you want to go into. Because for example, if your dream career was to work in the sustainable energy industry, one of your classes might be statics or dynamics, and that doesn't really align to that sustainable energy aspect of your career, right? So what you should focus on in these classes is your communication skills and your leadership skills. Because honestly, like majority of the applications that you see in Glassdoor and Indeed, they're looking for someone who has communication skills and leadership skills and can work with other people. So course group projects are a way to do that, which is at your fingertips. So take those seriously. Now, for all of these projects that I just mentioned, you want to put them all in a design portfolio because portfolios are the best way to visually show the work that you could actually do to these recruiters, right? Because imagine scrolling on YouTube and browsing YouTube videos and having no thumbnails to look at for the videos. You wouldn't have a visual representation to see what's going to happen in this video. In the same way, when these recruiters look at an application that doesn't have a portfolio, they don't have any images to see what this applicant can do, right? So it's just common sense to show all of your projects in the form of a design portfolio rather than just in your standard resume and your standard cover letter. So to make your portfolio, you want to click the top link in the description. That exact program that I talked about earlier has templates for you to use, different templates for you to use. It saves you hours of time because you just add text into boxes and you add photos into boxes and boom, your portfolio is done. Now, with that being said, I genuinely mean it when I say that this action step that you just took is very high leverage for the future you. You're doing future you a favor because future you is going to have a grip on his career because he has those experiences and those skills that are relevant to that dream career because you defined it earlier on. And if you want to give more grip to future you on his career, then make sure you click the top link in the description, which leads to my program, which helps you become the engineer necessary to get your dream career. Okay, I can't wait to see you inside. I really, really think you should join.